Let me know when it says, oh, screw it.
It's live.
Howdy, folks. This is Charles Deering, and this is Maker's Mashup. And this show, first thing you're going to notice is that there's no panel. That is not a reflection on the panel. It is just an experiment to see, because way back when I first started doing shows, me and Russ did a couple where it was just me and him, and it seemed to go smoothly. And from viewer feedback, it gets a little, I don't want to say overwhelming, but viewer feedback said it just seemed like it was hard to follow along, this and that. And it's just an experiment, but it's not a reflection on anything negative towards the panel members, because they're all great people. That being said, the topic for tonight is SAW, which is Scroll Saw Association of the World, and the website for that, I will repeat it repeatedly during the show, is saw-online.com. And we have she's been on another show a couple times, but I wanted to devote a whole show to her and get any and all questions answered that I can think of and that y'all can think of. And our lovely co-host Russ Clarity is watching the chat, so any questions y'all have, it might take a second, because he doesn't have any backup in here to watch the chat, so he can't ban anybody for his show.
Yeah, I don't have Donna and Paul in here trying to take over my job.
Yeah, I hear you. And thank you for being here, Russ. And our SAW president is Misty Valestin, but I'm going to go ahead and let Russ do the usual introduction stuff for himself. Then I will quickly throw up my stuff and plug a couple things, and then we'll get right to you, Misty, I promise.
All right, no problem.
All righty then.
I'm Russ. You, everybody.
You there? Oh, God.
You name it, I'm there. All you have to do is just type in Simply Wooden Creations into a Google search, and you'll find me. Nice to be here. And Misty just dropped out, I noticed.
Yeah, and you locked up, so I don't know if it was on my computer or the whole show. Okay, Misty's back. Russ, just in case you, well, actually look at the chat and ask them if it froze up, because on my end, it froze up right after you started introducing yourself.
It froze up on me, too.
Yeah.
I thought it was mine.
I mean, I know nobody in the chat knows who you are, Russ, so you might
They said everybody, it just, the whole thing froze up for a minute.
Okay, see, my pretty face was stuck. I'm so sorry. Well,
yeah, I do my introduction again.
Yeah, for those 3 people in the community that don't know who you are, Russ, tell them who you are and where they can find you.
I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, if you want to do it again, that's fair. I mean, that's how we do this.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, Simply Wooden Creations. Look everywhere, you'll find it.
Yep.
All right. I am.
Yeah. Oh, actually, a few of them are saying the whole show actually froze and went away, and now it's back. So.
Oh, good, good. I'm glad it's back. I don't know what made it freeze up. That's never happened before. And somebody was asking me earlier, I think it was even Misty, does the show usually go off without a hitch? And I say, yeah, unless somebody's having computer issues, and the one time she's on, it does it.
I would say it has in all sincerity, it has a 90+% of working. I mean, every once in a while you're going to have a problem, but that's with anything when it deals with the internet and a computer.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm gonna plug a couple things. One real quick thing. It's a shout out as well as an announcement, and I'm as excited as total heck. My website is about to be, I won't say bigger, but it's about to be bigger and better, because when you order a pattern, you'll get a link to download it. No more having to wait on me. If you order at 3 in the morning, you get it at 3 in the morning, or however long it takes that thing to work. It's not active yet. My site's still there, but the revamping of it is not there completely, because it's still behind the scenes. I got to throw a few things to the guy, and I have to give big shout out, number one, to Squire Hutchison. He's the one that's got me on the map with the website, and this is no reflection on him whatsoever. But my everything was up for renewal, and financially I couldn't do it to renew as well as get the site updated. And a guy named Steve Nealon very graciously offered to host my site as well as do everything for free. And again, I can't thank Squire Hutchison enough for everything he's done. He's done quite a bit, and I can't even imagine how to give back. But Steve Nealon's not asking for anything in return yet. I'm just kidding. He's a great guy. He's helping other people with their websites, but I'm excited about how user-friendly this, and the last one was too, but this one's going to be even more user-friendly because you don't have to wait on me to fill your pattern order. So that's the part I'm excited about. The DVDs will be able to be purchased on there as well. All kinds of things that are going to be improved and or added to my website, which is still woodenvisions.com, but I can't give an exact date on when the full launch is there unless I just make a YouTube video out of it. But I'm excited about it, and that's why I wanted to mention it. Second thing I wanted to mention is the people that won the Mikey B and Paul Corliss that won the DVDs from Shane Cole's giveaway. Those have been mailed out. According to tracking, they should get there Tuesday of next week. And that's the only announcements I can think of for now. But real quickly, for those that aren't necessarily subscribed to me, but if you've noticed that I suddenly had 6 videos in a row that started costing money, that's not how every video is going to be. I just uploaded my DVDs to YouTube for those that don't have the technology to watch DVDs on their computer. And I had the best of intentions, but I didn't announce it ahead of time, and people got 6 notifications of, oh my God, I got to pay money to watch a video. Not every video I upload is going to be like that, especially not shows or project videos, strictly my instructional DVDs. That is it. But that being said, Russ, did you want to update anybody on the pallet challenge or anything like that? And then we'll jump right into Misty. not literally.
Not really, other than that it's over.
Oh, it's over. Ugh. That tells you how much I pay attention.
Midnight last night, it's over. So I would like to point out one thing, but I hate to tell you this. Sterling's still waiting for his bill and his pattern.
I don't usually do invoices, so it's not on the top of my mind. But okay, Sterling, I don't know your email address, so if I know your email address, I will send you a bill. I'm not used to sending an invoice. I'm used to just filling orders, so I apologize.
Yeah, PM him over on Facebook, Sterling.
Yeah, just send me your email address and I'll send you an invoice. I'm not used to doing it that way, so that's the way I forgot.
Sterling said you don't like him.
I love you, actually. Just enough to get into heaven, as Sterling would say, but no, he's my brother from another mother. Okay, so the pallet challenge is over, and by the way, not everybody knows this. The winner is a random drawing. I won't speak for Russ. I think, and he's honoring the way Sterling has done. I shouldn't be speaking for Russ, but I think if I remember right, Russ next year may considering making an actual contest to where they're judging and this and that. But Russ, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, it's we thought about that. I don't know as of yet. We'll wait until next year to see, but that is one option. Oh, I would like to plug one thing real quick before we get started, and that is the something I told you about the other night. I will start advertising it now, and tonight I'll advertise it on your show. Is the Scroll Stall Artist Challenge will begin October 1st through October 31st. And this year, my sponsor, Bearwood Supply Company, is going to lead the way in sponsoring it, and they're going to offer a $150 gift certificate to their site. So that's a chunk of change, guys. And also, he's supposed to be getting with me any time now. Matter of fact, I should be able to post it after the holiday, after Monday, which is Labor Day. You should start seeing stuff go up about it Tuesday or Wednesday. And that is, we're going to be giving you a coupon code. And if you buy your supplies from Bearwood Supply, you will get like 10% off. And the reason I say that is because this year we're doing a clock challenge. You have to make a clock. Last year we did, I don't remember what we did last year. What was last year?
Halloween.
No, that was the year before.
Thanksgiving.
Might have been Thanksgiving. Yeah, we usually do some themed projects for the contest. And since he's being the lead sponsor on this and generously offering $150 gift certificate giveaway, he wanted to do clocks because he has clock stuff on his site. So if you order from him for the clock kits and you use your coupon code, you'll actually save 10%. So,
and what was the coupon code?
I'll have to post it next week. He hasn't even given it to me yet.
And the website is bearwoods.com.
Yeah, bearwoods.com. Bearwood.com.
I had another. Oh, I was given. I swear I'll get to you, Misty. I swear, I was giving Rush crap the other night because we never do that. But I was hoping this contest would be just scroll your best scrolling and submit it, because it takes me all day to make a picture frame. So I'm thinking, to construct a clock, holy monkey. But number one, it'll challenge yourself. Number two, it doesn't have to be a constructed clock. It could be a picture made out of wood with a clock inserted or glued, however you want to do the movements. So I have a chance in Hades of placing somewhere in there. And Russ, will that be a random drawing, or will it be judged?
This is going to be judged.
Awesome.
This is always judged, yeah. And like Charles was thinking, he couldn't make a clock, but he was thinking more three-dimensional, like a small grandfather clock or something like that. But think about it. When you buy a lot of your clocks, they're a flat thing that hangs on the wall. They're not basically a three-dimensional object. So he could scroll something and put a clock kit in it and maybe put some spacers on the back to hold it away from the wall, and boom, you've got a clock.
Now, are people allowed to buy plans to do the clock? I would assume yes, but I don't want to assume anything.
Yes.
Okay.
They can buy your patterns. They can buy anybody's patterns they want to. That's not an issue. And they can use any material, plastic. If they want to do it out of aluminum, because a scroll saw will cut aluminum. But
as long as it's done with aluminum, a scroll saw.
As long as it's done with a scroll saw. It has to be done with a scroll saw. You can use your regular, if you have to use a planer to get your wood thin, or use a bandsaw to cut your wood, that's not counted. The physical part of the clock making has to be done with a scroll saw.
Yeah, your sandpaper and all that's okay. So real quickly, Russ, is anybody in the chat asking anything about what's been said so far? The only reason I'm asking is so we don't change subject once we get into saw.
Well, I have a quick question. What chance does a beginner have in the clock contest?
Pretty good.
Let's answer that.
Well, for us, for any newbie or beginner,
that's a very good question, actually.
Some of the challenges scare us, and is there a chance for beginners in a lot of these contests? Not just yours, but any contest like that.
That's actually a very good question, Misty. And Russ, in my opinion, I'm not telling you how to do your thing, but maybe we should have a beginner category, because there are those that are intimidated by those that have been doing it for a while, and I don't want them to not join the contest.
The judging criteria is interpretation, clarity of the theme, creativity, originality, and craftsmanship.
Okay, so is that
to say that the actual pattern, straight lines, or if it's a line, your thickness needs to be the same throughout? Things like that when you get into the technical part of it. Right.
And also it can be an intarsia pattern. Basically it can be segmentation, intarsia. The sky's the limit on what you can make. Matter of fact, in the past we've had some intarsia projects entered into the challenge. So, but yes, a beginner would make. You ought to see some of them. Go back at my website and see some. In the first year I did it, some of those guys were beginners, and they did some awesome jobs.
So to be clear, so there's no confusion, there will not be a beginner category, this category, and that category. Just
I don't know yet. I've got 30 days to think about it.
Okay.
So
10-4.
Yeah, I've never broke it into patterns before, or categories before. But last year I was actually thinking about that, and the reason being is because we did have some intarsia stuff that has been filtering in, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I thought about breaking it into 2 or 3 different categories, and one of them being intarsia, so that you could enter yours into the intarsia categories, and people that were making other stuff didn't really have to compete with you.
Understood. Yeah, because I know how beginners can be intimidated, and right now I will commit. I will. As a prize, I will any instructional scroll saw pattern DVD they want, I will offer as a prize, along with 10 scroll saw patterns of their choice. Great. There we have it.
Awesome.
We got second sponsor already, and
you've heard it on the show, so I got to commit. Speaking of committing, the show's about saw. So again, it's saw-online. saw-online.com. And ladies and gentlemen, and whoever else is out there, Misty Valestin. How are you doing, Misty?
I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks.
I'm just spiffalicious. Depends on who you ask. Well, go ahead and introduce yourself as an individual, and then, however you want to go, and then I can just start asking you questions however you want to do it.
Okay, great. I'm Misty Valestin. I live in Southern Illinois, and I'm making connections through different people I'm meeting through my position with SAW, and Charles asked me to be on his show, and I was very delighted to oblige, and I'm just happy to be here. I'm recently the new president of SAW, Scroll Saw Association of the World, and some people, when you say SAW, they're like, oh gosh, bad rep. And some people are like, what's that? And some people are like, awesome, glad you're here. So we've got a mix, and all I can tell you is I'm not the past, but I've got large hurdles, and I'm ready to do what it takes to overcome them and try to get the membership going, because that's who I'm here for.
So I'm not the past, I'm the future. No, now I'll tell y'all why I wanted to get Misty on the show. Again, Lee Knight originally had her on his show, and I wanted to elaborate on a whole bunch of things. But one thing I noticed about her right off the bat, and obviously she knows and everybody knows, talk is talk, walk is walk. But the impression I got of her, she's willing to take the bull by the horn. She knows she's got into, I don't want to call it a mess, but we all know, or most of us know, SAW had, or off and on has had a bad reputation. That's not to slam everybody that's ever been on a board or represented SAW, but she has been a member of SAW. She's seen mistakes that were made. She's seen commitments that weren't able to be kept, and that, life gets in the way. But I believed when I saw her talking, saw and listened to her talking about SAW, I said, this lady's going to take the bull by the horns. But one thing I like about her, and I'm sorry to keep talking, Misty, I just want to tout on you for a little bit. Keep praising me, I don't care. But you strike me as the type that where it's your job to do it, you will do it without being iron-fisted. You will include people where they are to be included. You don't try to do it all yourself. One thing that I need to stress, even as a nobody, I just joined SAW yesterday, but people need to understand SAW is not this big government-run board that has, rules you must abide by. They have rules, this and that, but SAW essentially is by members for members, and that is important. Y'all make up SAW, so please, after this show, maybe we'll get a few more, and we may have her on again, and if we get a good enough reception and enough feedback, we may eventually on a different night do a SAW specific show, so y'all can, because I kind of, depending on how this goes, wanted SAW to have a social media presence more than just a page on Facebook, and I thought maybe a Google Hangout show there again, if it's received well, then you will get to see the board members, you will get to see their meetings, the ones they can have publicly, and you will see all the board members. You will get to hear things in real time as they're being done, and you're not left out of the loop. Not that SAW is known for leaving people out of the loop, and if they were, then she'll fix that. But that's my opinion on everything, and that's why I wanted to have her on. Back to you, Misty. Did you have anything else you wanted to say before I start throwing questions in your face?
No, I just want to tell everybody that I'm grateful for their watching and for giving me a chance. And I know I can sit here and talk till I'm blue in the face, and it's going to have to be the actions that back it up, and that is every bit of what I intend to be doing.
And I believe that. And if she doesn't, then I don't know her. I'm just kidding. In other words, I have faith that she'll back it up, but these things don't happen overnight, and I think most mature adults know that. Now, without calling out names, there's no secret that there were problems in SAW, but can you list what some of those problems were and what remedies you have in the works or have already set?
As far as everybody can nitpick all day long. Yeah. I think there were two main problem areas. One, huge lack of communication with the members. They never knew what was going on, when it was going to happen. I mean, the members just were, many of them felt like they were left out of the loop. And the second was, and this is my opinion, this is strictly my opinion, I believe there have been board members in the past that had personal agendas and they couldn't set aside personality conflicts and differences to work together for the members. Everything had to be, well, this was my way. Well, no, I want it my way. And was I there? No. This is just, again, my interpretation of everything I've heard. And I've heard several sides to the stories. I've been working on contacting people. I've had lots of phone calls and emails and conversations with people, and not so much so that I could hear a story so I could side with them. I wanted different views, because you can tell a story and 10 minutes later, that story is nothing what you originally said.
Like
everybody has a different interpretation. So the only thing I can put at a general consensus is lack of communication and personal agendas. Everybody wanted things their way. They didn't want to work together. And that's not what this is about. This has nothing to do with any one of us as an individual. It's those of us in the community that love to scroll saw. And it's a craft that we want to continue, pass on to other generations. And obviously, we do it because we like it, or we wouldn't even be here having this discussion right now.
Yeah,
that's what this is about, scroll sawing.
Yeah, so it's yes, it has a board, but y'all are technically just the face of SAW, but people still make up SAW, and they are SAW, and they determine the direction SAW goes. Now, obviously, with any kind of organization, there has to be a final filtering process, and that's the purpose of the board, I guess you're saying?
Correct. The board of directors was never designed to actually run and do the work of SAW. A membership that has organized to become nonprofit, which is what we are, is a group of people who decided, you know what, we have something to offer our communities, and we want to get together and we want to better this craft, this hobby, and we want to present it to others and then help ourselves. And that's where you have the contest and the expos, and you go to the shows, and you have the camaraderie of the group doing things together and helping one another. And then you have the local chapters, and you have clubs. And the board of directors was never designed to, okay, the president, he's the president, and you do what he says. No, that's not what that's about. The board members are to make sure that the Association of SAW is run the way it was designed through the bylaws. If there's problems with the bylaws, if something needs to be changed, you can change a bylaw that says, oh, we got to change an address. That can go through the board of directors. But if you want to do anything that affects your membership, you have to take it to your memberships for a vote. The board is there to make sure those types of things are implemented and taken care of, and that the path that you go down as the members as a whole decide that that path is what's stayed on. Like you're trying to make sure we stay on topic. Well, you're like a board of directors of your own show. You're trying to keep it on topic. And that's basically our job, is to stay on track with what the membership wants and has voted and has voiced that they want. So there's committees. I'll be honest with you, we haven't had a committee that's been formed since I've been on the board. I've been there since February, and we've had our past president and the editor and the webmaster on a couple committees as the chairman, but not a single committee report has been read at a meeting. None of those things are being done, and that's where the board is failing the members. That's our job, is to make sure that we put together the committees and the members that form the committee. That's who runs SAW. That's who is out there doing the work. Some people aren't happy with being involved. They just like being a part of it, but they want to be a behind the scenes person. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. We're here just as much for them as we are for anybody else. But then you have members that, yes, I want to be a member, but you know what? I can do a little bit more. And if more people will step in and help, you don't do that much. You know, you split it amongst the people, and a little bit do a few, you know, do some things, but the bigger bulk of the work is still being done because you've got, let's say you got a 10 member committee. You've got 10 people doing the work. You're not doing as much work as if you're the only one doing it. It wasn't designed to be done by one person.
Well, that, so, and sorry, I thought you were done.
Oh, that's okay.
I think some people might think you have to be a master scroller or a seasoned scroller. You could be a brand new scroller and be a member of S.A.W. I believe right now the fee is only $25, and you don't have to be a lifelong veteran. Matter of fact, having a big name in the scrolling community doesn't guarantee anything. And people might listen to your opinions, but it doesn't mean anything when it comes to S.A.W. unless you put in the work like Misty's doing. And I believe Misty will admit that she's kind of a beginning scroller, but she's been a S.A.W. member for a while.
Yeah, I am a beginning scroller. My uncle just introduced this to me 2 years ago, and I love it. I enjoy it. Am I good at it? Not yet. I'm getting there. I enjoy it. Like anybody else, you don't have all day 24/7 to sit at your scroll saw. You know, life has many avenues. So I got the pleasure of going this past summer to Judy Gale Roberts' studio in May, and I did my first Intarsia piece. Loved it, and I've already secured me a spot next year in the intermediate class with her, and looking forward to it. I just, in fact, on S.A.W. Facebook page the other day, I asked for tips on using spiral blades, and I had bought some, and I spent 4 hours at my saw with it, and I'll tell you what, I like both blades. I like spiral and I like straight blades.
I despise the straight blades.
So, you know, but one thing I'm finding is if it doesn't matter where you're at in sawing, you can be a beginner, novice, intermediate, advanced, super advanced, like mega advanced to do your patterns, and it doesn't matter. SAW is for everybody. We have a program called ACES, and it's for introducing people to scroll sawing. You know, if you've got a youth organization in your community and you'd like to show them the video, you can show it to them. It's a 20-minute demonstration, 20-minute teaching, introduction to the scroll saw, and all you got to do is talk for 5 or 10 minutes, and you've just done a 30-minute presentation on scroll sawing to see if they're interested to go into a demo.
And I think it's awesome that it's, you know, we're encouraging, because it's no secret that some would call scroll sawing a niche market, which in a sense maybe it is, but trying to bring kids into it is so the art of scroll sawing doesn't die. But real quickly, Russ, I know you know this, but you're welcome to interrupt if there's any questions or comments in the chat.
Well, we've got some, and I've kind of copied them, but I forgot who exactly did them. But anyway, okay, if SAW is working correctly, let's say, what is SAW? What is the benefits of SAW?
The benefit of SAW is obviously, yes, you get a publication, but a lot of people say, okay, I'm going to pay $25 a year for a membership. What do I get out of it? You get out of it what you put into it. Also, yes, we can provide you with a publication, and we can provide you with some free patterns. We can provide you with basically the same thing that you can go get online yourself, but you have the camaraderie of people that have been in this area of scroll sawing and woodwork. And if you're a beginner, you don't get any better of advice or want to know how to do something than you do from a lot of your SAW members. They have been around from day one. They have been scroll sawing for 20, 30 years, long before SAW ever started. And you've got all of that right there. There's not a single person in this membership that I've met so far that isn't willing to help somebody. That is priceless. You can't put a price tag on that. Something that will be happening, or if it's not per se an expo, the picnic, but there will be the SAW meetings annually And I would love for it to be to the extent of an expo. That just depends on, again, we can only do what the members are willing to help us do. I, as a president, and the other board members, you know, there's 5 of us, we can't do all of this ourselves. But with our members, the membership fee that you pay, it goes towards the funding for all of this. It goes for, yes, for paying for the publication. It goes for the resources that we get, the patterns that we get. It goes for we put together an expo. We get vendors, we get teachers, we get the venue. Some of that costs money. The dues go for that. But then at the end of an expo, you've got a weekend full of memories, of teaching, experience that you're not going to get anywhere without having gone to that type of event. We offer on the website, we have areas on the website that are strictly for paid members only. And what are you going to get on there that you can't get somewhere else? That direct connection to any member. That's, you know, all the names: Charles Deering, Lee Knighton, John Nelson, Rick Hutchison, Judy Gale Roberts, Kathy Wise. You've got the Wilkins Clock Company. You've all of those. Fox Chapel Publishing. Anything you need in this craft, you have direct access to through us.
Yeah, and by the way, the another way of putting it, if you want it in simpler terms, is that nobody in SAW is lining their pockets
No.
in a moral sense, because yes, like these expos, what some of us would call woodworking shows, except they're scroll saw specific, and something has to pay for that. So essentially, that's where the money goes. Besides the cost to just give the members what they want. That being said, it's still for the members by the members. But in order to do those publications, there's printing costs. Although, if I remember right, Misty said there's also going to be a digital version for those that don't want it, a
Yes.
paper one.
Yes,
And,
we'll have both.
And that's something I'm going to try to contribute to, because I know my patterns. I'm going to try to donate patterns, but I know I'm going to try to gear towards simpler, because not everybody's advanced. But that would be a good example of having a digital version, because not all of mine can be done on a paid size sheet of paper. So there again, it's mainly to assure anybody considering it that it's not lining anybody's pockets. And that's what I had to throw out there.
Okay. SAW is a paid membership, and it's $25, correct?
Yes, a year.
Okay, $25 a year. Are the officers paid?
No, nobody is paid. Now, with that being said, I run the home office. The home office receives $400 every quarter. But that's not to pay me to do it. That's to pay for the supplies to reimburse me. And I've got a book set up here. I haven't even got paid yet. And now when I say I got paid, I haven't got reimbursed yet. Since I've taken over, I've gotten the home office. It didn't come with, you know, stock supplies. I had to go buy all that. That money goes for supplies. Any of that $400 that I don't use in that quarter, I'm giving back to SAW. In the aspect of it's going to be set aside in a cash box. It's going to go for continued office supplies. And then if there's 20, 30 bucks left over, that's sitting there for any needs SAW has. Nothing is going into Misty Valestin's income. Nothing's going into my checkbook. Nothing is going into buying anything in my home.
So basically,
I have volunteered.
Volunteers. Okay.
Everything is volunteer. No officer is paid. No board members paid.
Now, there are some positions, and this is sort of jumping subject, there are some positions that are voted in. Yeah, I guess I can just let you elaborate on that. What's available as a position, or even in the future, and how are they put in? Or is it voted in, appointed, or I mean, I know that's a lot to answer in one, but
that's okay. Russ, does that go along with any of the upcoming questions about the?
Give me 1 second. No, that pretty well covers what everybody.
Okay. Real quick, we have 5 board positions and we have an editor position. The editor position can be a board member, does not have to be a board member. By normal process, you are voted in. We vote every October, November. In the October issue of Sawdust, we put the ballot out. And at the November board meeting, we have a board meeting once a month, the second Tuesday of every month. At that board member in November, we vote on any names that have come in the October ballot. When I say any names that come in, sometimes we might have a current board member who is up for re-election because their term expires at the end of the year, or if we've had somebody resign and step down due to, you know, family or personal issues, health issues, then their position, if it's open at the time of the election, then it's what you call a write-in, and anybody can send their name in. So you're elected, with the exception of if during your term, which is 3 years, you have to step down, then the board can appoint and you have to be a SAW member, but the board can appoint somebody to fill the rest of your term. But at the end of that term, they then have to run for election. None of us are guaranteed a next term. And, you know, we have to run every 3 years. When I came on the board in February, I replaced John Nelson, who had to step down for health reasons and his family. He had just been elected. I am in place until December of 2019. So that October issue, I will be up for election. I'll be on the ballot. If I'm voted in, I stay, and then I serve a 3-year term. We can serve 2 3-year terms. Now, the term I'm serving right now does not count because I was not voted, I was appointed. So if I'm voted in for 2 terms, I will have served 9 years. And then I have to take a year's break before you can resume if you want to attempt to get back on the board again.
Okay, now something like the editor, that would be only determined by the board, right? But
yes.
Now,
the editor and the 4 officers, the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, are all voted on by the board.
Okay, now, what is the difference between a board member and a chairperson?
A chairperson, the chairperson has to be a board member. They head up the committee, and then they, in turn, are to get members to volunteer to be on that committee with them. The only reason they hold the title chairperson is because they report directly to the board the happenings of that committee. They are on that committee along with the members. They all have equal positions on that committee. The chairperson is just the one that fine-tunes everything for a report to give to the board for the monthly meetings. Okay,
now to be clear for those out there, if I understand it right, I'm wanting to be corrected on air live if I'm getting it wrong. This isn't like Avon or Cincy where if you get so many people beneath you, so to speak, that no. it does not elevate you in any way. It's strictly to help SAW. So there's no
SAW. Yeah. There are no ulterior motives, and if that's what somebody has, they're at the wrong place.
Exactamundo. Now, I noticed y'all, and I believe you mentioned that there's going to be changes and what's the words I'm looking for? There's going to be changes to the website because things that were initially started weren't, it's outdated. Okay. So can you name what some of those changes might be?
Some of the changes are we're going to be having the homepage ideally is going to, I mean, I can't tell you specifically what we're putting together because some of those decisions haven't been made. Some like a book cover. You write a book and the last thing you'd make is the cover. An idea for the homepage is just a simple go in, log on, and just a couple of directions. Go here, go there. I mean, pretty much with the exception of a new member just checking the site out, you pretty much know what you're wanting when you go on the site. There are some sections that are for members only. So if a non-member goes on our website, they can see the information about SAW and what we do and things like that. and they can get into where they can join online, or they can, if they don't, a lot of your older generation does not like using the internet. So sometimes we get frowned on because people say, well, why do you still have write a check? Who writes a check? Well, who scroll saws? Who's the biggest part of our community? People that are 60 and older, 50 and older. And you've got that generation that is not 100% tech savvy, and they still want that old-fashioned form of write a check. So we will never disrespect anybody. So every form is always available. That if they don't want to get online, they can just, I've got one member that he'll get online and he'll print something, but he doesn't want to do anything with emailing. He doesn't want any business transactions back and forth. And I respect that. He's a member and he has a voice. And so we just try to make things maintainable. So those parts are access to a non-member. We want to put some more modernization into our website. It's 10 years old, hasn't been updated. So we want to put a modern tech on there, and we want to put obviously some more graphics on there, make it a little bit more appealing when you first look at it. And then we want to compact down. There's so much on there that it can be overwhelming to somebody that gets on there and says, oh my gosh, you've got 17 tabs. Where do I go from here? And some of the information is in multiple places. It's a little redundant. Well, over the years, SAW has accumulated so much information. In the beginning, SAW was the only place to get some of this research information for scrollers. We don't want to lose that hard work and a lot of that information that took a long time for people to compile. Well, we're going to archive that. So we want to put together a place to archive where if you want to go research something or look something up, it's there. We want to have a section for bragging. Can't tell you that's going to be the name of it, but right now that's kind of what we're calling it, the brag page, where people can just upload projects they're working on. We love looking at other people's work that they're doing, projects they're working on. We have a lot of chapters that work with a lot of the charities, and they do toy drives and fun drives, and we love looking at the projects they're working on. We could even take this project or this contest that Russ has going, we could take and we could just upload a flyer of advertisement page for him and put it on there, and everybody would see it when they went in there. So we want to have a place for people to upload their own photos. They don't have to go through our webmaster, Rick Hutchison, just to get a picture on the website. We do currently have, and this is where a lot of members don't realize it, we have a spot where you can go, and right now, Charles, you could go on there and you could put a link to your website. If your website has anything to do with Scroll Sign while you're a SAW member, you can connect your own link. You can do that right now on the website. That's been there. A lot of people, I guess they either don't know or they just didn't like the beginning look, so they didn't dig further. Go into the sitemap and just look at what's in there. And there's a lot in there. We used to have a pattern generator, and when Windows upgraded to the 7 and 10, the pattern generator was not compatible. So Rick Hutchison got, what is it, Paint Shop 8? I forget what it is. He put a couple programs on there, and it will help people with doing programs to make them. And he's got the fonts on there. If you're interested in dabbing in something like that, we've got the calculator, we've got the drill bit to blade ratio. There's all kinds of information on there, which a lot of you veterans, you've got that stuff down pat, but a lot of people that don't do it as often or are starting out, they may not know where to go, and it's already compiled. We all know when you Google something, it can send you in 20 million different directions. That's
what I was going to say. That's another selling point, so to speak, is that yes, you can find things on the internet, but if you go to SAW, the goal is to people come to SAW and get all that information. They don't have to go out and Google and get it.
The work's already done.
Yeah, and okay, now I'm prepared to let this show run long. Russ, if you can't stay the whole time, I understand, because I just want to be thorough with the show. But Russ, if you cannot stay, that is 100% okay. You're not committed to. I found out yesterday when I was trying to become a member, you have an option of printing something out and mailing it in, or you can just do what they call a PayPal only membership, and that's what I did.
Right.
But you talked about everything being nonprofit, and I believe you on that. But I'd also noticed there's a shop for memorabilia like SAW hats and this and that, and I assume it's all for the same purpose.
The hat is strictly for to buy the hat. Obviously, it's $16, and everybody's like, "Whoa, $16 for a hat?" Well, $6 goes to the scholarship fund, which currently, when you go on the website and if you click on the scholarship, it's going to tell you the program is currently on hold. Well, the program is currently on hold because I don't know how many years ago, back 2006, 2007, every bit of 10 years ago, when they put together the scholarship fund, they decided to hire the scholarship company, and they have to pay them $1,000.
Okay, did the show lock up or just her? You still with me, Russ? Russ, are you there? Okay, I don't hear Russ. Russ, is your microphone on? Because I can't even hear you. Okay.
I'm still here.
Okay, she locked up. Okay, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm looking over on the
chat.
YouTube, yeah, and me and you are here. She is not.
Okay, technical things happen. We can get around it. Now, again, folks, I have no connection whatsoever to SAW other than being a member and a hopeful, one of those people hoping it can be revamped, because it did have a bad reputation in the past, off and on. And I've known members that were valuable members, but, you know, like she was saying earlier, it takes a team for it to get going. Now, it may be thinking, y'all might be thinking, you know, well, I'm a member of a Facebook page here and something here, but this is not really, this is not a badge of honor. It's strictly just to get like-minded people in the same area and to have all that information in one spot. And I have to reiterate that, take in mind that she didn't necessarily jump into to be the president. John Nelson had to step down for whatever reason, and I think she was notified by email that she was the president. I mean, so please realize that these changes cannot happen overnight. So if somebody out there has a negative opinion, thinking, well, it looks like nothing's happening, but, you know, it's in baby steps. But I know she's trying to get done what can be done, but she also has to oversee what other people do, and she can't do it all. And I know she's not trying to do it all. But I would love to emphasize that to everybody, to give it time, but to know that some of it can't be done without us as a community coming in to try to help. And I think she's made it clear, Russ, if you don't, you know, I mean, you're welcome to disagree with me. You don't have to agree with me because you're the co-host, but I think she's made it clear it's about the members. It's not about anything else. I mean, do you have any feedback thus far?
No, I mean, the bad reputation that SAW has had in the past is about SAW wasn't doing anything. They were stagnant, dead.
Yeah.
People didn't like that. And then if you weren't in certain cliques, it just didn't go anywhere. And they have actually, she said tonight they went from 1,500 members down to 400 right now.
Yeah.
So they're trying to build that reputation. I've been reading some stuff. Somebody they're talking about over there. What do you get for your $25? She explained that you get as much as you put into it. You do get a free newsletter. You have access to the website. You get to join a community of SAWers. And I mean, if you that's all you do. And then they're going to have some free patterns up there to help you along and other stuff like that. But I mean, if you don't want to do anything else, then then probably except sit on your butt and look around at stuff, then it's probably not for you.
I mean, yeah, you could submit that $25 fee, membership fee, and just sit there, and you might perceive it as not getting you anything. But to reiterate what she said, it pays for the little things, like, because, okay, the expo, what most of us call woodworking shows, except it's Scroll Saw specific, it pays for the vendors. It pays for people that have to be paid to be there, not necessarily SAW members. It pays for the printing cost of the Sawdust newsletter, which is like a newsletter for SAW members.
I think it goes to the scholarship. Some of it goes to the scholarship fund.
Yeah, the scholarship fund. And I feel confident. I mean, I don't speak for everybody or Russ even. I feel confident that this is headed in the right direction, but we all have to be patient and know that it doesn't happen overnight. I know I keep saying that, but my gut tells me that SAW is about to be a big thing again, and I wanted to be part of that. If nothing else, I wanted to get her face out there and her message out there. And I hope if anybody was having their doubts that maybe what we've done thus far, maybe even just a few notches, built up your confidence. It's built mine up. I can't say enough. I'm not in any way sponsored or paid by SAW to promote Misty. I wanted to help.
Sterling wants to know what shows they do. I know once a year they have an expo, Sterling. We had talked about that, and that also they have to have all the members, the board members and stuff like that show up for one meeting a year in the bylaws. So they have an expo every year, which not only fulfills as a show, but it also fulfills as the members board and et cetera coming together to fulfill that in the board of or in the bylaws. But other than that, she's not here, so I'm not quite sure how many. Do you remember how many shows they have a year, if they have shows?
I don't recall. I mean, and I don't blame her at all, because I know, technical problems happen. So that's why I'm trying to think of the things like because I noticed they have a shop on there, and like she was saying, it's bare bones website right now that needs to be updated. But they sell stuff like caps. That's the only thing I saw because I was surfing pretty quick. You will notice if you go on there and you're not a member, some things are grayed out, meaning it's members only. But you can also find out, this is one thing I haven't talked to her about, but I did notice it on the website. I don't remember the name of the tab because I don't have it open in front of me, but the website is saw-online.com, and you can find out if there's any chapters in your area simply by just looking under the list of chapters. There's
what the people are asking, what is the name? How do you find the website? What's the name of their website again?
saw-online.com. It's not the spelled out dash, it's just a dash. saw-online.com. There's a dash between saw and online.
Mike wants to know, did they say where that happened? The expo, she said they try to have it in a central location in concordance with the chapters and everything else. So it could be like in the center of the U.S. if there's enough chapters on the West Coast versus East Coast. I don't know where all their chapters are scattered out. So it's just in a central location of all the chapters so that everybody can come together.
Okay, she's back with us, and we kept it going while you were gone, Misty. We know stuff happens.
My whole computer froze up.
Yeah. It's okay. That stuff happens. I think Russ and I did a decent, we were,
Good.
We were being pro-SAW while we were gone. But we were on the subject of chapters. You said it used to have a bunch of chapters and then it's dwindled down to about 11. How can somebody start a chapter, and are these SAW expos in the same location every year, or is it dependent on what? I know that's a lot to answer at once.
Yeah, there's no rhyme or
formula
reason to where a expo is. It can be wherever we want it to be. What I'd like to see is over this next coming year is for the chapters to vie for for the expo to be there, because the chapters really help with the biggest bulk of the expo, and they benefit from it as well. So it can really be anywhere. If the chapters are not able to vie for it, then I'd like to see it to kind of be centralized for the membership base.
Yeah, that's what Russ was saying.
To be a member or to be a chapter, you go online. We've got our local chapter kit you can submit for, and we'll send you the kit. A chapter is a short step off of us. You have your own organization, your own bylaws and officers, and your own runnings. And chapters can be what you make them. And we also have clubs. We have a lot of people just form clubs. So it's whatever people's desire is.
So to put it in basic terms, what is the difference between a chapter and a club? Is affiliation with SAW?
The chapter is associated through SAW, yes, and they have to have 30% of their members have to be SAW members, and through the chapter, you have our insurance to use for securing buildings for your meetings and sites for that.
That's a good selling point.
Yes, yes, and clubs are what a club is good for. If there's just a couple of you, and you don't have the means to form a chapter, then one of our business members could have our applications at their business. You can put signs up that says that you're just meeting, getting a few people together and having a little club, just like the old card clubs. People used to meet once a week, play cards. It's the same concept.
Or dominoes.
Yeah, except they're all scrolling.
Yeah, essentially it's like-minded people in the same room. I mean, it doesn't have to be all aimed at SAW, but every little bit helps.
Right. Right. It's a chat room. You do it in person.
Exactly. And I really hope we can get to that point. I feel like, I see 35 viewers. I'm not able to see the chat because it's too distracting for me. But to have this many viewers tells me at least we have people that are willing to listen to you.
Yes.
And for those that know me know this is rare for me to be so mature for a whole show so far. So far, don't hold your breath. But I am that excited about the potential SAW has because I've seen what SAW used to be. And
yes, we have so much potential. Our members are so wonderful. And the only thing that restricts us is ourselves. And we've got a good group, and I can't wait to just get us out to the shows. We'll be in Wilmington, Ohio, October 14th and 15th at the Dayton, Ohio, or Dayton Carvers Guild with Artistry and Wood, and we'll be at that show. This is the first year that scroll sawing, if I'm not mistaken, scroll sawing is in the contest. And Fox Chapel is sponsoring that, and I'll be in there with S.A.W, with Ray Seymour and Judy Gale Roberts and Fox Chapel Publishing. Saul's got a site right with them.
Awesome. And for those that don't know, Ray Seymour, S.A.W Scroll Saws, you hear Steve Good talking about that a lot. And what was the other one?
Judy Gale Roberts.
Judy Gale Roberts is a very well-known teacher and intarsia maker. But she has studios where she teaches people to do intarsia. So I think the more people, I don't know what I can do to help, but if I can't do another thing, I want to help SAW. However that can be done, if that's a show is the only way I can do that, fine. To put it publicly, even though the board has to vote on it, I am interested in editor right now. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, so editor is what I'm comfortable trying for. And it's not because I'm Charles Deering, it's because I want to help SAW. And then going back to being, okay, if a few people in the community know your name, it doesn't mean you're going to succeed at something or that people are going to follow you praising you. You got to prove yourself.
You have to do the work.
Yeah, you got to do the work. Anybody can say it. And there again, I feel confident. I was saying this while you were gone. Some people are all talk, and I was reassuring people that it cannot be done overnight. And I am confident you're going to get things done along with the members and board. And I'm very confident, and that's why I wanted to jump on board and help any way I can.
We appreciate it.
Not a problem. We appreciate you and what you're trying to do, because I know. But the reason why I wanted to mention that we had so many people watching is I want to make sure that they understand this isn't some corporate company. It's not, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's not a corporate company trying to get money out of your pocket so they can say, oh, look at us.
No.
It all goes back to for the members, by the members.
Yes.
Without the members, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It's just an organization. But
I do want to say one thing, if I can, real quick.
Absolutely.
I have no disrespect for any person who has ever tried their best to do something for SAW. This program has been around. I think, if I read correctly in the history, they started back in 1996. The group of people that put the SAW together, and so many people have dedicated time and patterns, and they've attempted what they thought was good things, and they all had great intentions. And I may have, while I was waiting for my computer to reboot, it kind of dawned on me, wow, I was kind of negative there for a minute. And I do apologize if I came off that way. I sure didn't mean it to be that way. I just want you to understand that I do know the hurdles that have to be overcome. And everybody has a voice, and I may not know the right way to get there. And if somebody's got a better idea, share it. Let us know, because it doesn't matter whose idea it is. If it's the right, if it's where we need to be going and it's a better way, we're all for it.
Now, Misty, in my opinion, I can't speak for anybody else, but I don't think you were being negative. I think you were talking about the negative things that have been seen of SAW and what needs to be changed about SAW. There's really no way to address those changes without mentioning why they're needing to be changed. So I didn't say it as negative, but I can't speak for anybody else.
Thank you.
We are getting a little. Go ahead, Russ.
Just to let her know, and I know you said the website is SAW-online.org.
No,
it's SAW-online.com or .org, either one.
Right, because that's what everybody was finding out. You can go to either or, but if you go to the .org, it immediately redirects you over to the .com.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's either or. It's either .org or .com, but if it redirects you over to the .com. So
okay.
It's people were going like that it directs you to the .org.
Okay.
A couple of questions. I know they're technical questions.
Okay.
Do you still offer insurance to your local chapters or clubs?
Yes, it's included in their membership. The chapter is a membership fee of $75 a year. The insurance is included, and so is a certificate of insurance.
Does the insurance cover claims against demonstrators that happens to be involved when they're doing the demos?
I have to be honest with you. I have not read the complete policy, so I cannot answer that. It's through Hartford, and if they would like to email me, I can definitely get them that answer.
All right. And does the insurance cover other tools at a scroll saw meeting?
I believe it's basically for the building where you're having your meeting. Again, I would have to read the policy to find out the specifics.
That's some dang good questions going on out there.
Yes, and that's some of the stuff I haven't learned yet, and I will not blow sunshine. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know, but I will sure find the answer out.
Right.
That is awesome, man. I'm stoked. Now, again, nothing to do with this show, but I'm going to be stoked if Misty tells me tomorrow, after your show, we got such and such amount of members. If we can get 5-10 members awesome. Because of this show, I'd be stoked. Not because it's my show, but because the purpose of me wanting to do this show was to help get your face out there, your name out there, your intentions out there, and SAW out there. So yes, I will be. There's one other level
that I forgot to mention, and it's strictly the person volunteers to do it. We have what's called a state ambassador. We have an ambassador spot for every state, and we only have currently 13 of them. If somebody would like to be the ambassador for their state, then clubs, chapters, individual members, any questions they have, they can go straight to their state ambassador, who knows more of their state and their area than anybody else would, to help them be a medium between us and SAW and our members. So we have an ambassador spot for every state.
How would they go about becoming an ambassador? Or, okay, you said you have vice president open, editor, and now you're saying ambassador. And what?
It's not every state has an ambassador. They can go online and on our site, and where it says inside SAW, go down and it'll say ambassador program. Click on that and it'll show you all of our ambassadors, and it'll tell you the states that are open, and scroll down a little bit further and it'll give you all the details. And really what an ambassador does is they try to stay in contact with members at least once a month, see if there's anything they need. And some states put together their own little picnics. Some states have their own little contest and shows.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
right, Mike out there wants to know what's the difference between marquetry and scrolling, and the reason he's asking that, he says Every other chapter on your chapters list is scrollers, but the one by me says Marquetry Society. So,
yes, he must be in New Jersey.
So what does that mean?
Marquetry, if I'm not mistaken, they do marquetry, but they use the scroll saw to do it. There's many forms of wood crafts out there. You've got the marquetry and veneer. If I'm not mistaken, help me out here, Russ and Charles, isn't marquetry where you take the like a thin layer of wood? Veneer. Is it like with inlay? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have the 100% knowledge there on the market.
I think Mike's confusion or worry is that the club closest to him is marquetry only, even though it's done with a scroll saw. I think he wants to be in an overall scroll saw group versus just marquetry.
Right, so that's what he wants. He just wants to know what that means. So in other words, Mike, fortunately, the one near you is probably just does marquetry in their meetings.
Now we have a Penn Jersey club chapter. Is that anywhere near him? Because the member who started the marquetry club was a member of the Penn Jersey club.
He hasn't answered as of yet.
Now how does somebody start a chapter like it? Because like we mentioned on the site, there's only like 11 right now, but you can start a chapter in your area. How does somebody go about doing that?
The first thing you want to do is obviously to make sure that they have the means with which to sustain a chapter. Is they need to get enough people within their area that want to do it. A lot of people start out with a club first, getting people together, doing the same type of craft, and they meet, and then when they get enough people interested because a chapter requires you to have bylaws. People have to pay dues to be a member of your chapter. You have to have the officers, the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and you run a small mini saw, for lack of a better way to call it. And they meet. Yeah, a lot of people meet at Hobby Lobby. They meet at other, business. They meet at a business. They meet in people's homes. Wherever they've got a place, and they'll scroll saw together. We've got a couple of chapters in California. They go to the state fair every year, and they have a booth at the state fair, and they're just trying to further their craft and teach people and show people what they're doing. So to get started with it, you just simply go on to our website and go to the chapter information, and it'll give you more detailed specifics of what you need to do. But you've got to first have your interest within your area of people to help you. It's nothing you can go and do on your own. You have to have enough people to help with it to be officers and make up bylaws.
Yeah, I think the closest one to me is Dallas-Fort Worth, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah, Texas only has one.
Now, I believe Jeff Robinson, I could be wrong. I know he's part of DFW Scrollers, and he's in the chat earlier I saw. I don't know if he's part of SAW or not, but I know they have something called DFW Scrollers, so that's something
that's our chapter. Now,
because
they're our chapter doesn't mean every member is a SAW member.
Yeah,
The rules say that 30% of the membership of the chapter has to be SAW members, and the officers have to be SAW members.
Yeah, and I regarding that expo, I pleaded my case, but as most people do, it went one ear out the other, but I pleaded my case to have the expo every year in Gatesville, Texas, so I didn't have to travel. But nobody listens to me. I don't know why. No.
Who are you? No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome to the club. I would love to see it somewhere where I could get to it easily, but that's just me being selfish. But Russ, I can't speak for you, but I think we've already done leaps and bounds, at least getting the information out there. Now, Misty, if they want to
come, other questions, Russ?
Yeah, that's.
No, they were asking about marquetry, but Alan looked it up on Wikipedia and posted. So
okay, yeah, I'm not going to sit here and claim to know everything in this industry.
It's basically you take thin wood like a veneering, and they're using the scroll saw to cut it and putting it together to create patterns, and then you can apply that to either a picture. You can have a marquetry picture. Okay. You can have a marquetry tabletop. There's a bunch of different areas you can do it. A lot of times marquetry is cut with a razor knife too, but You can very much use a scroll saw to cut market
Yeah.
trees.
It's almost like segmentation inlaid into something, or on its
very
own.
much. Yeah, but it's an inlaid into something, and then it can be done as a picture and a piece of furniture or whatever. So, and it's the woods are different varieties and colors and stuff. I think of intarsia, but real thin.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because it is different species of woods, but well, I am stoked, and I will take it personally if real quickly, how do people contact you, Misty? Do you prefer they go to you through Facebook? But if they don't have Facebook, what is the best way for people to contact you? The question.
Best way to contact me is to email Misty Valestin at sawonline.com.
Okay, and her last name is spelled Valestin. Yeah.
Yep. V as in Victor, Alestin. And it's Misty Valestin. And it technically it shows the M and the V capitalized, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, Misty Valestin at saw-online. Don't forget the dash. It's either .com or .org. It'll redirect you to the .com.
But for the email, it has to be .com.
Okay, .com. Thank you. I'm glad you pointed that out. For the email, it is .com. Now, I will take it personally, although some of you have an agenda against me anyway. I'm kidding. I will take it personally if there aren't at least 5 new SAW members by morning. I'm just going to say that. But I am confident.
You cancel my membership.
Oh, dang it. You see where your loyalties lie.
Russ, come back to us, Russ.
No, Misty, I am tickled to death that we could have you on here. I can't think right this second of a reason to have you on a second time unless the changes have been made or you've had. I know you probably already have things.
The website changes, that just takes time. I would love to say, oh, we'll have it done by next week, but that's not going to happen. But and everything else is time. And I do have a goal also to, my husband and I, we travel and we RV, and I will be visiting over the next year to year and a half. I will be visiting every chapter.
Okay, if I become a member, can y'all give me an RV?
No, we can't give you an RV, but we can visit you with an RV.
Yeah, but I've always wanted an RV.
And with just what you said, and people are going to have to realize that if you're coming in and saying that we're going to make changes, because it being such an organization, some of the things don't just happen overnight. It takes a little while for you to, like the website, for instance, people don't understand. You can't just go in there and start deleting things and stuff. You have to make sure deleting that you have records of it, and it's not the only file or whatever you have. So it will take some time for it to get straightened out and go.
And that website didn't form overnight. That website formed over 10 years.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And you said something about a SAW member directory. Now I'm sure people can opt out of that, and I know you can reassure people that won't be.
There's a directory of our membership, and it used to be that they sent a printed directory to members every year. Well, that cost $7,000. Just print that directory because the directory is over 100 pages.
Right.
Well, I guess there's another online option there then.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, the online directory hasn't been updated since 2015. It's a couple years, so we've got some work to do.
Now,
I assume people. Go ahead, Russ.
Some of the stuff, and I haven't been on the site enough to understand what's going on. Do you have it already set up like this, or are you going to get it set up like this, where some of this information is only achievable by being a member and logging in?
That's already that way.
Okay, so in other words, if I wanted to look at the membership, I have to be a member and I have to log in order to look at it. I can't be.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes. Yep. That our membership information is private to members only.
Yeah, and it will not be sold to an outside entity as an email list or anything like that.
No, it's never been that way.
Now, do you have it where you could be kind of vague in your membership directly? Could I just put like Russell Clarity from Mulberry, Florida, and
no, you have to have you have to give your address.
Okay. Can that be changed though? Because some people are worried about it, and now day and time having their actually address out there.
No, the only thing I can tell you is that Squire and Rick, we have all the security measures in place with our website. That has never, to my knowledge, been a problem ever.
I think, and I get what you're saying, Misty, but I think what Russ is saying is that some members would rather not have their information out there. I mean,
No,
can they
we've
opt
not
out?
had. No, that's never come up.
Okay.
Well, okay, I guess I'm not
coming
sure.
up in my chat.
Yeah, and
They're saying they don't want people to have their addresses and stuff like that.
They do have, yes, each member has the right to say whether or not they want to be printed in the directory.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was asking. Can they opt out of that? Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm so glad that got cleared up. So
Well, sometimes I'm a little slow.
No,
that's all right. I'm a little slow too, but I know what scroll sawing is. What was that?
I said life is like a box of chocolates.
Yep. See, now I went over an hour being mature. So
Don't spoil it now.
Hey, now. No, this is very good. I'm stoked. So at least, has anybody? I'm challenging y'all. Has anybody deeply considered, or has anybody joined SAW since this show started? I want to hear some yeses, but don't be lying, because I'm watching you.
That would be awesome.
That would be. And I know people might need convincing, but don't be one of those people. You're entitled to do what you want, but don't be one of those people that waits to see what happens. Well, no, waiting to see what happens is actually smart. But if you're like me and you have the confidence that it's going to happen,
like Al Forte said, I'm considering it. JP Woodworking says I'm looking at it now. David Hart says I'm renewing. So
awesome, David Hart.
Yeah. Awesome. So there was a rumor for a while going around that we had folded, and I guess I didn't realize it, but I had sent my letter out to the members, letting them know where we were at, and I've been just flooded with so much positive feedback. People saying, "Oh, we're so happy! Thank you for the information." You know, it means so much to people when you just reach out that little bit, and if you can't communicate and you're not here for your members, then why are you here? You know,
it really is the little things that make a difference. Yes. I don't know everybody personally that's out in that chat, but I feel like if they've got a remote sense of trusting their gut, I feel like it sounds like I'm saying it's because of the show. It's because we got you on. It's not because it's me. It's not because it's my show and that Russ is a co-host. It was you are representing the face of SAW right now, for those that don't know you or don't know much about SAW. And I feel confident that people are confident about it. Some may want to wait and see the direction it's going. But if too many people wait, I'm afraid it'll look like, well, the membership's still low. Maybe it's not that good. But if everybody thought, let's wait and see, then it could take a while for it to build. Right. That's just my personal opinion.
John Schaffner said he's considering. Kim McCrory says he's on the site now. He didn't say that he was doing it, but he said he's on the site now. And then Jeff Robinson wants to know, how many patterns do you actually find in sawdust each month?
It varies. A lot of times, if an editor has been known, if they don't have a lot of articles, they'll throw some extra patterns in there, because our bylaws tell us that our publication has to be 40 pages long. I did get this year, since I got on the board, I got Bruce Worthington to donate a pattern. He was in our spring publication. I got Judy Gale Roberts. She was in, no, I apologize. Judy Gale Roberts was our spring and Bruce Worthington was our summer. We got Jeanette Square. Her pattern's going to be in the fall. And I got Kathy Wise to donate, and she'll be in the winter. So
sorry.
I'm just talking of the larger names.
Well, to be clear, so far, if I'm correct, all three of those are Intarsia designers.
But they still do it with a scroll saw.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I'm just saying, for those that aren't into Intarsia, I will, unless it's too late, I will donate a scroll saw pattern.
No, I've got about another 2 weeks before I send off to the publisher.
Okay, then I would like to donate a fretwork type.
Awesome.
Al Forte wants to know if I join, but I kind of don't understand this, so clarify it, please, Al. If I join, can I share it with others? Are you talking about?
Can he share the pattern? No.
You're not supposed to. Yeah, you're not supposed to, Al. It's your magazine. You're supposed to keep it for yourself.
Right. that goes into the copyright laws, and that's not just us. That's any pattern, and not just in the scroll saw world.
Right.
That's in anything that requires a pattern. That's a copyright law.
Okay, what I was saying about the
Debbie Shipton says, if I had the choice between a membership and wood, I'm not going to say which one I'm going to pick.
One thing I'm mistaken. I may have sounded like I was anti-Intarsia, but I know not everybody's into Intarsia. That's why I was trying to clarify whether or not there were any commitments to have fretwork style.
Well, the big thing, my personal big push was because all the patterns that I've seen in our publication over the last couple of years were all fretwork. So I was just trying to get a variety out there.
Oh, I completely understand.
That was what my goal was by seeking those 4.
Yeah, and since I mentioned, and I don't mean to campaign on the show, but since I mentioned that I'm looking to be the editor, it's obviously a voted in thing. I would like to have the variety, just like she's talking about. But if right now all we have is Intarsia designs in the upcoming newsletter, I will.
No, there's other patterns. Those are just the
big name ones.
The big name ones.
Okay.
Now I've got other patterns going in, but I can't tell you what it's all about. It's got to be a surprise.
By God! Now I promise you right here now that I will donate a pattern, but I know that not everybody likes big old detailed patterns, so I may offer 2, one that's detailed and one that's middle of the road or simple. Because I'm trying to train myself, and I know me and Russ have had this conversation. I think you and I did too.
I'm trying to get you a larger market.
I'm trying to train myself to do simpler things to cater to everybody. So I will try to do at least 2 patterns, one that's middle of the road or detailed, and one that's relatively simple. So
Steve Garrison is saying that he's considered joining.
Awesome.
Thank you, Steve Garrison.
You've got at least 5 or 6 people that are really.
You know what? Just the fact that they're thinking about it, that gives a lot of good vibes, because we are nothing without our members, and the more the better, and hoorah.
Good question out here. Do you have a copy of one of the older Saw magazines that you could actually hold up and show people kind of what?
Of course. Yes, I can do that. Let me
go, girl. Now, am I allowed to bribe people by saying, if you become a member by tomorrow morning, I will send you a free scroll saw pattern?
No.
No, you can't do that.
I cleaned my office last night, so I moved some things. Hold on a minute. Let me go get it.
You can call me the saw pimp. I'm excited. I became a member because it didn't make a lot of sense for me to try to get Saw's name out there and get help without being a member myself. So I committed.
Oh, I love it. I cleaned my office last night. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Katie Dotson's saying she'll now try to join after she gets the guy home and settled in.
Love you, Katie Delicious.
All right.
And I was joking about bribing with the free pattern. I'm just excited. I really think, this show served its purpose, and that a lot more people know about. Oh wow, that's better than it used to be.
Mike says he has to have 2 patterns to join, Charlie.
Okay, then I guess Mike won't be joining. Well, that is a lot bigger than the old one was. I love that.
Yeah, and there's still improvements and changes that we want to do. I'm not always crazy about just a picture on the front cover. We want to try to make it, this is technically a newsletter, but because our bylaws say it has to be 40 pages, it's difficult to
get 40 pages worth.
We can't call it a magazine, but in theory, that's really what it is. But
can you hold it slightly higher up, Misty, please? Right about there.
Right there?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
And we got, from the desk of the president.
The bylaws say it has to be 40 pages?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Well, you could have 30 pages of pictures.
Yeah.
The bylaws say it has to be 40 pages.
And I like the idea of readers gallery. People showing off their work. Go ahead, Russ.
This is Bruce Worthington's.
Oh, wow.
That's the project, and he let me pick the color.
Awesome.
It was a brand new project.
Look at that. Thank you, Bruce Worthington, Judy Gale Roberts, and Kathy Wise. Those are the three names you mentioned, right?
We were talking about this the other night, Mike, but I'll ask it to you. Are you going to make this available in PDF form where people can download it?
Yeah, digital.
It is already on our website. Every issue is on our website. And PDF.
Okay.
That's awesome. And every pattern that's ever been in our publications are on there also. Go to the publications tab and go down to Sawdust Archive.
Are you presently mailing all the Saw newsletter?
Yes. Okay. Yes. I did ask.
Didn't we talk about the other night you're working towards that where some people can opt out and just have it sent to them in an email, so to speak?
Yep, I'm doing that also. I have two lists going. I have a list of people that want strictly paper, people who want strictly digital, and then if I don't hear from somebody, they're definitely getting the paper in the mail, and it's available PDF on our website.
Does the magazine come out?
Quarterly, January, April, July, and October.
Hold on, Charlie. I have them piled up, so I got to read them out real quick. What's the advantage of a family membership?
You can have 2 or 3 people. You get 2 membership cards. Having a membership card at some businesses will give you a discount. You get 2 votes instead of 1, and a family membership is only $35. So for $10, you get another person. Or we have some families that have 3.
Yeah, more of a voice.
Yep, you have more of a voice.
Mike says I joined, so you don't have to send me a pattern, Charles.
Awesome, Mike. Oh, and I got to say this publicly. I don't care if it sounds like I'm brown nosing. Mike, his name is Michael Anthony Murray. This guy is a relative beginner, but you can't tell it to look at his stuff. This guy, he has chosen some of the most advanced patterns out there, and he's rocking them. I'm so proud of you, Mike. I mean, I really am, and I know I'm not the only one.
I just got verification of Miter Mike. And also, if Miter Mike, after he's with us for a while, we have business members, which Ray Seymour, Seiko is, Judy Gale Roberts, Kathy Wise, PC Wood Machines is. We've got 8 business partners that, through their business, they're in all of our publications. And if they... let's say they give out a membership app and that person joins, they get a half-page free advertising.
Okay, now if I want to, I know people are sick of hearing about my DVDs, but if I want to advertise my DVDs on a full page, that costs to do?
Sometimes, and then sometimes, you know what, you as SAW, we have arrangements where our ad is in one magazine, so we put your ad in our magazine, so, you rub each other's backs and you do things, and so some of our advertising is paid for and some of it's not.
Awesome, because I would like to submit that if there's still time, along with a couple patterns. Man, I am so excited. Thank you, Mike, for joining. And not that I was
we pride ourselves not being totally full of ads.
Yeah, and I was reassuring folks that me doing this show about you and SAW, that I have no affiliation with SAW other than I just joined yesterday. Y'all aren't paying me.
You reactivated. You used to be a member.
I used to be a member?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
All I do is reactivate you.
I've slept since then, I guess.
You got to give me we got to wait another 5 or 10 minutes.
For what?
Because I said so.
No, I mean, what are we waiting 5 minutes for?
None of your business. Just wait 5 or 10 minutes.
Excuse me. What? I'm confused. What do
your partner's spoke? Keep talking.
Yep. You just keep running your mouth. That'll.
Okay. I'm so confused right now. I don't even know what
Russ is going to read. Maybe Russ is going to rejoin.
Or join. Period. I don't know if he's been on before. Let's say I'm confused. Okay, give me 5 or 10 minutes. So he better be joining. Represent, yo, for real. Well, so much for that maturity thing I was talking about. Real quickly, I would like to promote or mention that don't forget to watch Makers International podcast, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time on Sundays. It's makersinternationalpodcast.com. This week, Sunday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern, they are featuring Jamie Page. And who doesn't know and love Jamie Page? If you don't tell me about it, because he's a friend of mine. Jamie Page will be the spotlighted guy, even though he's a part of the podcast crew. Podcast crew is Richard Morley, Alan Robinson, Joe Whitaker, Chris Cute, and Jamie Page. But I'm tickled to death because I know 99, if not 100% of the community loves Jamie Page. So congratulations, Jamie. Again, that's Makers International Podcast. They have a YouTube page, which is where the podcast originally is. And if you want to watch it live and ask questions, do shout outs. But that's at 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. So
yeah, John Schaffner says, is there a
Russ!
Huh?
Russ joined. I just got confirmation. Woohoo!
Go, Russ. That's my boy.
That's the reason I told you got to talk for another 10 minutes.
Well, I hate it when you do this secret crap. I'm thinking, well, I got to stall for 5 minutes.
Okay.
This is awesome.
Yeah, John Schaffner, you members have access, she already said, to all the old issues of Sawdust in PDF form if you become a member.
Yes.
All back
yes. Now,
awesome.
There was like it was 2011 or 2012 where they only put one out that year. So if there's not one listed, it's because there wasn't one made.
Okay.
They did run into a couple of times where they couldn't get things together and one just wasn't put out.
Yeah, so if you're like me, and even though you can't get around to cutting them all, but you love to collect patterns, go there.
And Minor Mike came up with a good idea, because I could do this on my website too. Is there a way to put an affiliate link, or if you're not, you need to think about that. Put an affiliate on us to have websites so that you can go from my website to Saw and join?
Yes, we have affiliate vendors, and we can always create that relationship. Yep.
Now, are you saying you already have an HTML something or other?
We already have an affiliate vendor page.
I mean, but that you can make it physically linked from from a personal website to yours, and vice versa.
If it's if they have a business, see, we've got affiliate vendors. If you go to, let's say you go to Fox Chapel, you want to subscribe to a magazine, and you do it through SAW, the commission that is made goes to SAW instead of an individual.
Awesome.
Yeah, but that's not what they're saying. But Charles, even if what they're saying is you can actually join on their website, but what all you would have to do is just put a direct link on your website, Mike.
We would get them as an affiliate.
Right.
Yes, I would love to do that.
Okay. Can you get a little bitty thing that says, "Hi, I'm a member of SAW," somewhere on, like a little banner saying I'm a member of SAW.
Yes, all that's on our website. We have banners. Yes.
Awesome, dude. Okay.
Yes.
I joined yesterday. Russ joined, and Miter Mike. Did you say Miter Mike joined?
Yes.
I haven't. Yeah, Miter Mike joined.
Awesome. And I love that the viewership has stayed in the mid to lower 30s. I love it, because for my show, that's saying a lot.
And you're doing very, very, very good.
Thank you. I love the participation in the chat, and I am super stoked. And again, folks, I can't say it enough. It's not going to happen overnight, but have faith. I would not have had her on the show if I didn't think that she's going to get things done, and she will not try to do it alone. And y'all's feedback is crucial as well. And I know she'll echo that. Without y'all's feedback, she doesn't know what the masses want.
I want your ideas. I'm only one person. There's so many people. Our only limitation are our own thoughts and brains, and we just have to share. I welcome the feedback. I don't claim to know it all. I don't even claim to know a portion of it.
I know a portion of it.
Let's hold off just a few more minutes. You should be getting another notification.
Heck yeah, baby! Oh, I'm so stoked.
I got 2.
I'm loving it, baby.
Oh my gosh!
Misty, just remember whose show done did this.
Hey, quit sucking up.
I'm sucking up big time, by God. I want a saw tattoo on my forehead.
They just posted the only reason they joined was because I said so.
Oh, bull stinky. But because I said so.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, I'm gonna put
This is awesome.
I'm gonna put Saw Pimp on my forehead and the Saw logo on my cheek.
David Hart says, hold on. David Hart says he don't see a place for renewing a membership, so
if he expired, he has to go in like a new member, and then I go in and find his inactive, and I make him active.
Okay, so there you go.
As a new member.
Yeah, and there again,
Dave Hart.
Yeah, there is HART, and there again, you don't have to do the thing where you print it out and mail it in. You can do the PayPal only.
That's what everybody's done so far. I've got 4.
I do have people out here like Al Forte. The only reason he joined was because of me. See,
Booty monkey, come on now. Pretty sure Misty had something to do with it, but oh wow, I'm excited. I feel like this is a telethon in a way, but I'm excited because my gut tells me this is the next big thing, or back to the next big thing.
Oh, you don't know how happy I am. I just want to thank you all.
Okay, Misty, who's your boy?
All of you.
Dang it, I was going to say be careful how you answer, but okay. All of you, good answer, good safe answer. I'll let you. Anyway,
this is awesome.
I believe I covered all of the questions I had, but I wanted to reiterate my website's about to be revamped. It will be much easier. You won't have to wait on me to email you the pattern. It will be automatic. And thank you, Steve Nealon, so much. Javier, oh God, how am I going to say his last name wrong? Javi Unsuela or something like that. He helped with the thumbnails and this and that.
Javi
or something like that, because Russ is real good with last names. Just messing with you, Russ. Anyway, he helped with the thumbnails, so I appreciate that. Steve Nealon is doing a bunch of the gut work. Squire Hutchison rocked it, and I'm not separating things with him for any reason other than I was offered all this free, and but Squire Hutchison got me where I am, and I can't say thank you enough. It's not a reflection of anything negative towards you. These changes are not going to be 100% yet.
Yay, thank you.
What you need to do, Charles, and I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm suggesting it. So, but get the names from her, the people that have actually joined tonight, and put them in the information underneath this video.
Absolutely.
It says thank you to all these people that joined. Just make sure that mine's at the top of the list.
Mine will be, because I joined before you did, so mine will be up there. But
you didn't join tonight. You didn't join tonight. You don't count.
I joined last night because I'm that much.
It don't matter. You said tonight.
I'm quicker than you, baby. You're the one that said tonight. Anyway, her email, the best way to contact her is Misty, Misty. Her last name is Valestin, VALESTIN, at scroll-online.com. That is the only way to, well, not the only way to contact her, but the best way. She also is on Facebook. Jim Brashears just joined. Yeah. Al Forte. Didn't I say 5 members? And what? We've gotten 5 members so far tonight.
Yeah. I think, dude. Who else? Jim Brashears, Al Forte. I thought you said you had, how many did you get, Misty?
Miter Mike and you.
4. Well, okay. Okay. Miter Mike. Yep. Miter Mike.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank y'all, guys. I don't know why I'm thanking y'all. I'm just happy.
Let's see what this is.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I got 5.
Boom, baby. This is exciting. Madison Woodsmith. I don't know the name of that.
Wait a minute. That's who sent it. John Schaefer.
John Schaffner. John Schaffner, baby.
Okay, so it's Russ Clarity, Jim Brashears, Al Forte, Mike, Miter Mike, which is Michael Murphy, and John Schaffner. All joined tonight.
I freaking love it. Thank y'all, guys. I don't know why I'm treating this like a telethon. Like, yeah, just 3 more, just 3 more. It's not a telethon. Y'all do it at your own pace, but thank y'all so much for doing it live on the show, because I'm getting royalties. I'm just kidding. There's no money changing hands. I'm just excited for Saul. Wow. I'm so happy for you, Misty, and for the organization. Real quickly, I told you about the website, the Mikey B. That's all I know him by on these outside chats. I know it's Blaster Hassett or some kind of something along last name. Mikey B and Paul Corliss, your DVDs that you won through Shane Coles. giveaway, 2,000 subscriber giveaway, have been mailed, and I believe the tracking says they will get there Tuesday. To reiterate everything, the pallet challenge is over. Russ, when will those be announced?
Probably next Saturday night on my show.
Okay, and Sterling Davis is going to do a Founder's Choice.
Yes,
it's a totally separate award.
I'll get. I mean, I say that, but I'm sure he wants to be there on the show, so I want to make sure that he can be there. But the tentative date is next Saturday night, which will be the 9th. So hopefully Sterling can be there. If not, we'll change it and move it.
Alrighty, and don't forget about Sunday night Makers International podcast. Jamie Page, our friend from across the pond, at 4:30 p.m. Eastern will be the spotlight. Thank you so much.
And don't forget, quick little plug here. Don't forget Wednesday nights on Twitch TV. Look for Simply Wooden Creations, and it's Scrolling with Russ. And we're right now, last week we talked about blades, the sizes and use and everything. And every week it's going to be something different on Scrolling, and I'll be there again this Wednesday night. Sorry, guys, we had a little problem. Twitch, the whole Twitch site went down and did not work last Wednesday night. People are a little upset, so I just transferred over and went over to YouTube and put the show over there. I'm presently uploading that back.
Dave Hart renewed.
Oh, okay. All right.
Who renewed?
Dave Hart just renewed.
Awesome.
So I'm presently loading that back up to Twitch, but every Wednesday night, Twitch TV, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, Scrolling with Russ.
Awesome. Wow. I'm excited at the potential, and I see the hunger to get it there, and I know people know that things don't happen overnight, so I'm excited. Thank you to everybody in the chat. We've had consistently 30 or more. Thank you to Dave Hart, Miter Mike, John Schaffner. Oh God, Dave Hart. I already said that. I can't remember all the names. John, crap. Russ Clarity, and I did it last night, so I'm better than Russ. But just saying,
Alfredo Forte.
Yeah, Al Forte and Jim Preshears. Thank y'all so much for supporting Saw.
Thank you.
And thank you, Misty, so much for being on and answering questions. And if y'all have any more, I will repeat the email address one more time. The website is saw-online.com. If you type in .org, it'll take you back to .com. But the only way to get a hold of Misty via the it's going to be a .com. It's Misty, Misty Valestin, Valestin at saw-online.com. Don't forget that dash. Thank you so much, Misty, for being on. Thank you so much, Russ, for giving me crap and reading the questions.
Yeah. Or my Facebook, either one.
Oh yeah, she's also on Facebook. But what is your go by? You go by Misty.
Misty Humes Valestin. Humes is my maiden name.
Yeah, Misty Humes space Valestin is how you can find her on Facebook. So I want to see a bunch of friend requests too. But
Al Forte is happy that she was able to pronounce her name the very first time.
Yeah. That's her forte. See what I did there. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and close out the show. And for any of you that are gullible enough to want to be on this panel after the show is over, bug Russ, and he will give you the link, because I'm going to be too busy. I don't know what I'm going to be doing, unless you're not friends with Russ. If you only love me,
I don't have any friends.
Okay, I think I got a few, but thank all of y'all for watching. Thank you, Misty. Thank you, Russ. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, community. And I'm stoked. But on top of everything, whether you join Saw or not, just scroll on.